25 Unforgivable Acts by King Charles against Princess Diana we can't forget. Imagine being married to someone who doesn't love you, who cheats on you openly, and who tries to control every aspect of your life. When your partner's emotionally unavailable and distant, it leaves you feeling alone and isolated. This was the reality for Princess Diana, who was married to King Charles. In this video, we'll take a look at 25 of the most unforgivable acts that King Charles committed against Princess Diana. These are acts that we can't forget, even today. Number 1. Adultery. Adultery, the first and most prominent issue in Charles and Diana's marriage, cast a long shadow over their relationship. Charles' ongoing relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, both before and during his marriage to Diana, shattered the trust that should have formed the foundation of their union. This affair, perceived by many as a profound betrayal, not only eroded the public's faith in their royal marriage, but also inflicted deep emotional wounds on Princess Diana, leaving scars that would haunt her throughout her life in the public eye. Number 2. Public humiliation. The public humiliation endured by Princess Diana was profound, primarily due to the conspicuous nature of Charles' relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles. Their affair was far from discreet, making headlines worldwide and causing immense emotional anguish to Diana. The constant exposure of their infidelity in the media further eroded her dignity, leaving her feeling exposed and vulnerable in a marriage that should have been a source of support and love. The public humiliation became a lasting scar on Diana's psyche, fueling her struggles and ultimately contributing to the unraveling of their marriage. Number 3. Lack of emotional support. During her struggles with bulimia and mental health issues, Princess Diana desperately needed emotional support from her husband, King Charles. Unfortunately, he often fell short in this crucial aspect of their relationship. Diana's cry for help was met with indifference, leaving her feeling isolated and abandoned in her battle against her inner demons. This lack of emotional support not only strained their marriage, but also cast a long shadow over her life. Number 4. Press leaks. In the turbulent marriage of Princess Diana and King Charles, one of the most disturbing aspects was the suspicion of press leaks originating from Charles and those around him. These alleged leaks fueled negative stories about Diana, tarnishing her reputation and further exacerbating her already difficult situation. The press leaks not only undermined her public image, but also isolated her emotionally. The constant media scrutiny and perceived betrayal from within her own family put Diana in an extremely vulnerable position. Number 5. Dismissal of Diana's role. One of the most poignant aspects of Princess Diana's tenure within the royal family was her relentless dedication to charitable work and her ability to redefine the role of a royal. However, her efforts were often met with indifference and even dismissal from her husband, King Charles, and the royal establishment. Despite her groundbreaking work, Charles and others within the royal family often failed to acknowledge the significance of her contributions. This lack of recognition left Diana feeling undervalued and sidelined, fueling the growing rift between her and the monarchy. Number 6. Age gap and lack of experience. When Diana and Charles tied the knot in 1981, Diana was just 20 years old, while Charles was 32. This age difference of 12 years played a role in their relationship dynamics. Diana's youth and limited life experiences put her at a considerable disadvantage in navigating the complexities of royal life and marriage. She was thrust into a world of immense scrutiny, protocol, and expectations, without having had the opportunity to develop the maturity and self-assuredness that often come with age. This age gap contributed to her vulnerability and may have made it challenging for her to assert herself within the royal family, further exacerbating the difficulties in her marriage to Charles. Number 7. Media handling. In the aftermath of Princess Diana's tragic death, how King Charles handled the media and public sentiment came under intense scrutiny. Many critics and observers found his approach to be inadequate and, at times, seemingly insensitive. Diana's passing was a profound loss that deeply affected people worldwide, and the public's grief was palpable. However, King Charles' response appeared to lack the empathy and understanding that the situation demanded. His initial reluctance to return from his vacation in the wake of Diana's death, followed by the somewhat delayed public address, left many questioning his emotional connection to the tragedy. This perceived detachment fueled public resentment and added to the already strained relationship between the royal family and the public, further eroding trust and goodwill. Number 8. Parenting. One of the deeply troubling aspects of King Charles' actions concerning Princess Diana was his perceived lack of effort in protecting their sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, from the relentless media scrutiny that surrounded their mother. Amid their tumultuous marriage and subsequent divorce, Diana bore the brunt of media attention, often depicted in an unflattering light. This intense media circus, fueled by paparazzi, invasion of privacy, and tabloid sensationalism, inevitably affected the young princes. Many critics argue that Charles should have taken a more proactive role in shielding his sons from the harmful consequences of such media intrusion. Number 9. Unequal treatment. One of the most glaring issues in the tumultuous marriage of Princess Diana and King Charles was the stark contrast in their treatment by both the royal family and the public. While Charles was able to remarry without losing his position in the royal succession after the divorce, Diana was stripped of her royal title. This unequal treatment symbolized a systemic bias that many perceived within the monarchy. It raised questions about the inherent gender bias and traditionalism within the institution, where Charles could move on with relative ease, while Diana faced significant challenges in adapting to life outside the royal circle. Number 10. Ignoring public sentiment. Despite the overwhelming public sympathy for Princess Diana during and after her tumultuous marriage to King Charles, the royal family's response appeared indifferent to the public's feelings. Even as Diana became a global icon for her compassion, humanitarian work, and relatability, the royal family's response remained seemingly aloof. This indifference exacerbated the rift between Diana and the royal establishment. This lack of alignment between public sentiment and royal action contributed to the enduring fascination and empathy people continue to hold for Princess Diana, even decades after her tragic passing. Number 11. Treatment of Diana's legacy. Princess Diana's legacy as the people's princess was marked by her compassion, activism, and tireless efforts to make a positive impact on the world. However, some argue that King Charles and the royal family have not done enough to honor and continue her legacy in a meaningful way. There's been criticism that the royal families failed to fully embrace her charitable causes and humanitarian work. Diana's dedication to issues like HIV/AIDS awareness, landmine clearance, and mental health advocacy resonated deeply with people worldwide. Still, her successors within the royal fold have not consistently championed these causes to the same extent. Some believe that honoring Diana's legacy goes beyond mere symbolism, calling for concrete actions and a genuine commitment to the causes she held dear. Number 12. Forced isolation. Diana, despite her popularity among the public, often found herself at odds with the traditional and rigid protocols of the royal family. Charles, as her husband and a member of the royal family himself, had the power to provide her with support, understanding, and a sense of belonging. However, Diana frequently spoke about how she felt sidelined, excluded, and alienated within the royal circle. Her struggles with this isolation took a severe toll on her mental and emotional well-being, exacerbating the challenges she faced throughout her life as a royal. Number 13. Lack of transparency. Lack of transparency within the royal family, including King Charles, has been a long-standing issue that has contributed to public mistrust. The British monarchy, steeped in tradition and protocol, often operates behind closed doors, leaving the public with limited insight into the inner workings of their family life. This lack of openness has left room for speculation and fueled rumors, particularly during the tumultuous marriage of Princess Diana and King Charles. The secrecy surrounding the royal family's decisions, actions, and relationships led to a disconnect with the public, who yearned for a more relatable and transparent monarchy. Many felt that Charles and the royal establishment could have benefited from greater transparency, especially during the difficult times when Diana was struggling with her mental health and facing intense media scrutiny. Number 14. Absence of public apology. Despite the numerous controversies and pain caused by their relationship, Charles has never taken the initiative to acknowledge his actions and express remorse publicly. A public apology could have been a significant step towards healing the wounds inflicted on Diana and the public's perception of the royal family. It could have demonstrated a sense of responsibility and empathy, helping to rebuild trust and repair the damage done to Diana's reputation. However, the absence of such an apology leaves a lingering sense of injustice and insensitivity, reinforcing the perception that the royal family prioritized its image over addressing the suffering Diana endured. Number 15. Questionable motives for marriage. From the moment they announced their engagement, there was an aura of uncertainty surrounding their union. Many wondered if Charles had been pressured into the marriage, casting doubts on the authenticity of their commitment to each other. Diana herself later revealed that she overheard Charles saying, "whatever in love means," during their engagement interview. The belief that their marriage was more of a strategic move rather than a union based on love haunted them throughout their tumultuous relationship, further eroding the trust and intimacy that should ideally form the foundation of any marriage. This lack of a strong emotional bond undoubtedly contributed to the series of unforgivable acts that unfolded over the years. Number 16. Initial courtship. While the public anticipated a fairy tale romance, the reality was quite different. Charles had been in a long-term relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, and the expectations of the royal family and the British establishment loomed large. This pressure on Charles to find a suitable bride and produce an heir for the monarchy overshadowed the romantic aspects of their courtship. Diana, on the other hand, was young, impressionable, and hopelessly in love with the idea of becoming a princess. This fundamental disparity in their motivations and emotional readiness set the stage for the strains and challenges that would plague their marriage in the years to come. Number 17. Publicly admitted to adultery. In 1994, King Charles confessed to his extramarital affair with Camilla Parker Bowles during an interview with Jonathan Dimbleby. This revelation sent shockwaves throughout the world and deeply wounded Diana. The interview watched by millions laid bare the intimate details of Charles' relationship with Camilla, further eroding the public's perception of their marriage. For Diana, this admission was not just a personal betrayal, but a very public one. It intensified the already intense scrutiny she faced as a member of the royal family. The interview marked a turning point in their marriage, signaling to the world that it was irrevocably damaged. Diana's pain and humiliation were palpable, making this moment one of the most significant and unforgettable chapters in their tumultuous relationship. Number 18. Disregard for Diana's mental health. Diana openly spoke about her battles with bulimia and depression, both of which took a significant toll on her well-being. Regrettably, Charles seemed to downplay the seriousness of these issues, failing to provide the emotional support and understanding that Diana desperately needed. Diana's mental health challenges were not just personal struggles. They became a symbol of her isolation within the royal family. Her pleas for help and understanding often fell on deaf ears, leaving her feeling more isolated and vulnerable. This disregard for her mental health added to the deep emotional wounds that Diana carried throughout her life. Number 19. Forced public appearances. During her time as a member of the British royal family, Princess Diana found herself constantly in the public eye. While some might assume that life as a princess would be filled with glamour and adoration, Diana's experience was often marred by the relentless pressure to maintain a public persona. She felt compelled to make numerous public appearances, attend events, and fulfill her royal duties, even when she might have been going through personal struggles. The stress of these forced public appearances exacerbated her mental health issues, contributing to her sense of isolation and vulnerability within the royal family. Number 20. Ignoring Diana's contributions. Diana was a trailblazer in the royal family, redefining what it meant to be a royal through her tireless charitable work and her approachable demeanor. She became a global icon for her humanitarian efforts, championing causes like AIDS awareness and landmine eradication. However, Charles seemed dismissive or neglectful of her achievements, leaving Diana feeling sidelined and unappreciated. This not only hindered her personal growth, but also strained their already troubled marriage. Her immense potential and her ability to connect with people were assets that should have been celebrated, but Charles' failure to do so only added to the mounting tensions in their relationship. Number 21. Lack of intimacy. Intimacy is a vital component of any successful relationship, and its absence can breed feelings of loneliness and unfulfillment. For Diana, this lack of intimacy exacerbated her struggles with mental health, further intensifying the emotional turmoil she experienced throughout her marriage. Her longing for a deeper connection with Charles remained unmet, leaving a void in her life that was profoundly distressing and contributed to the ultimate breakdown of their marriage. Number 22. Questioning Diana's role as a mother. Throughout their marriage, Diana was a devoted mother to their two sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. She was deeply committed to providing them with love and care, despite the ongoing challenges within their marriage. However, Charles reportedly questioned her parenting abilities, which was incredibly hurtful to Diana. This doubt cast a shadow over her maternal role and further eroded her self-esteem. Number 23. Alleged spying and surveillance. During and after their separation, Princess Diana had a pervasive fear that she was under constant surveillance. While this claim has never been definitively proven, it deeply troubled her. Diana believed that her private life, conversations, and movements were being monitored by various entities, possibly including the British intelligence services. This paranoia exacerbated her already considerable stress and anxiety, as she felt there was nowhere she could truly escape the relentless scrutiny. Number 24. Dismissive of her struggles. Throughout her time in the royal family, Princess Diana faced relentless media scrutiny and intrusion into her personal life. She often felt that her concerns about the invasive media attention were not taken seriously by Charles and other members of the royal establishment. Diana's distress over the constant presence of paparazzi, tabloid stories, and the lack of privacy was palpable. She believed that her well-being was at stake, and she grappled with the pressures of royal life and the toll it took on her mental health. Charles, whether intentionally or not, appeared indifferent to her struggles, further isolating her within the royal fold. This sense of dismissiveness towards her genuine fears and anxieties added another layer of tension to their already strained relationship, ultimately contributing to the heartbreaking dissolution of their marriage. Number 25. Indifference towards her post-divorce. Following their highly publicized divorce, it was expected that King Charles would demonstrate a degree of empathy and support for Princess Diana as she embarked on her life outside the royal circle. However, what she saw instead was a stark contrast to this expectation. Reports and accounts suggest that Charles displayed an alarming degree of indifference towards Diana's well-being and her efforts to establish an independent identity. This indifference was evident in various aspects of their post-divorce interactions. It's reported that Charles was not particularly concerned about Diana's emotional state or how she would navigate the complexities of her new life. Moreover, he was allegedly unsupportive of her attempts to redefine herself outside the confines of the royal family, which was something Diana desperately needed after years of royal scrutiny and the challenges she faced within the institution. In essence, Charles' indifference towards Diana post-divorce compounded the emotional turmoil she experienced during their marriage and divorce, leaving her to fend for herself in the challenging world of celebrity and public attention. From heartbreaking betrayals to public scandals, Diana, the people's princess, endured immense challenges throughout her life. Now I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you believe these acts were truly unforgivable, or do you see them in a different light? Are there any other aspects of their relationship that you think are important to consider? Please share your insights in the comments section below. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.